Warstell water impoundment, please.
Members of the board, we received a plan from Range Resources.
Please, Bruce has the floor.
We received a updated plan from Range Resources. It's for the closure of the Warstell impoundment. This is under the consent order from DEP. Essentially what we're doing is they will be taking the fill material that was excavated for the impoundment and replacing it back into the impoundment and closing the impoundment out. The work will still approximately start sometime this week.
Okay. Second item on new business, Chris, 2 new hearings coming up on July 11th. Could we illustrate those?
Yes, absolutely. On July 11th, beginning at 6 p.m., we'll first have a hearing. We'll reopen the hearing for our changes to Section 913, the SD district of our zoning ordinance. There were some procedural challenges, so we were going to have another hearing to clear that business up. And also immediately following that one, we're going to open the hearing on Crown Castle's conditional use application to allow a neighboring landowner to present some testimony.
Next item, business Turnpike update. Don, could you shed any light on that?
I met with the Turnpike last week relative to some township roads that will be affected by the Turnpike project. The first phase of the project, which is closest to Route 50 in South Fayette and Cecil's townships, that will be let for bid in November, and physical construction may start in March. There should be more information as we get closer to those dates. I once again posed the Turnpike request of the board for a public meeting, and they declined my request. They're not ready to have a public meeting in Cecil at this time.
Next item was investigation of 2 new personnel. One an IT marketing person, someone to assist with recruitment for the comprehensive plan, and also flyers or website and a replacement for the being prepared for this to be stepping down, and then also a mapping GIS person.
Wait,
Shed any more light on that?
This is the first thing.
I would suggest the board to direct me to prepare job descriptions. We can circulate that, and then we'll spur more discussion as to whether or not those positions.
Liz is stepping down
Not Liz will be off for
for 6 weeks.
return. Yes. Yes.
So we're going to hire somebody to replace her, or we're going to hire a temporary.
That's something we can discuss. I would suggest a temporary person. Right.
And then the second person may be, or depending on the board's approval, someone that would assist with mapping or the GIS.
In Bruce's section?
Yes.
Is this per your request on, or?
Well, yeah, I think we should circulate a job description. I think someone with a technical background would be more appropriate to assist Bruce with the workload, especially we've seen 2 new subdivisions come before the board. So that department remains busy. If we have someone that can understand the technical issues within the ordinances as well, routine questions when residents come in could be answered by that technician as opposed to what Bruce would perform to answer something like, how high is my fence supposed to be? Although not all fence issues are the same. There's no the unique part of Bruce's job is that there are probably no issues that come forward that are exactly the same. There's always some nuance that makes them different, and sometimes you have to be a little more thorough before you give your answer to the president.
So are we going to limit this person to mapping and GIS, or are we just?
No, I think you want to look for someone that a technical assistant to that department, someone that may have some experience with GIS and/or mapping.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And like I suggested to Supervisors of I'll prepare some job descriptions. We'll circulate that, and of course the supervisors will have the ultimate decision or give me the direction after that.
Yeah, I think that's imperative.
So should we, can we see show of hands, or shall we put onto the task investigating job descriptions to present back to us next month?
We can understand the consensus.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. improvement. Cindy, you had a comment?
Every year that I've been on the board, I've asked for a certain amount of money to be budgeted for park improvements. Last year, we did the safe service at Cecil Park. Bill and I have been working over the past 6 or 7 months to come up with the next project. We really feel like the next best project right now would be resurfacing the tennis and deck hockey courts in Cecil Park. It'll kind of finish off the improvement of Cecil so we can move to a different park. We really have no idea at this point, correct, Bill? There's so many different options, so we really just need to investigate what kind of surface would be best and what we're doing. So it's really just the beginning, but I wanted to make sure the board was on board for this project. There's about $80,000 budgeted in the budget for this project.
Any other comments in regards to that? The thought was there also that maybe we, this investigate or Dawn, we have a complete report on all the 4 parks and
I think it would be.
what might be needed.
I
What might be
I think
needed
that's
also.
already been done by the parks
And,
members. And one of the things that I remember distinctly for several years was to try to get water and sewage, if possible, to Hendersonville, to the park there.
You have water to Hendersonville.
Yeah, but not sewage.
but that's a heck of a lot more than the $80,000 we budgeted.
And then there were a number of things. Did you see the list, Bill?
I did see the list.
Pardon me?
I did see the list,
Okay.
yes.
Well, it's on that there were some small items, but they appeared to be very important items.
They are. We as a department have addressed some of those issues. Safety-related issues have been addressed. We put straw mulch under the play areas for the swing sets and any independent play structures. That was one of the recommendations that we all put down. We've done that. So we've addressed those issues. I have a list of improvements that I see as being needed in all those little playgrounds. From benches being installed, and I think that's one of the features that we added to the playground over here, that the people who utilize the playground over here really appreciate the benches adjacent to the play structures, so that they're able to keep an eye on the children.
Just for, and Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, just for a little clarification, the money that's budgeted that I'm specifically talking about is for a huge
We
park.
can't hear you.
Can you not hear me? The money that's budgeted is, I feel like I'm screaming at you guys. The money that's budgeted is specifically for a large project, i.e. the safe surface that went in there was a huge expense, a one-time expense. The stuff that Elizabeth's talking about is stuff that Bill and the Public Works Department has and will continue to improve as time goes on. So I don't want it to seem like we're not listening to them. We are, but benches are things that Bill can do through Public Works. Mulch is something that Bill can do through Public Works, things like that. Sewage is not something that we have budgeted for Henderson, and it would be way more than $80,000. So this is meant as like a one-time big improvement to the parks, which is why we sat down and really tried to do something that would be a big one-time expense.
So would the idea be to go on the task is to see that he has agreement with resurfacing?
I don't think.
Or do you know the cost of the
John, correct.
sewage?
Correct.
Do we know that, or have we ever investigated that?
There's no possibility of sewage in Henderson.
Okay.
What did you say, Don?
There's no possibility of public sewage in Hendersonville.
No, I didn't think so. There's definitely water.
Sure.
There already is water there.
Right across the street.
There's water.
There's
water.
There's water.
When was it wrong?
Years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, over 5 years.
There's something else that it Hendersonville, I don't remember. It's on the list that the park board has engaged you, Bill.
Restroom facilities, I mean, that was on the wish list. So I was referring to. There's some things there that are easy to do. There are other things that, quite frankly, are very costly and we can't do because of the connections to public sewage.
Would that be, is that possible that we could get back a number on what was all of the improvements to the 4 parks, or what? Let's come to a decision.
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, We specifically asked for the surfacing. If the board is going to turn that down, I would appreciate if we turn that down before we start talking about other projects. So I'd really like to understand if the board is in support of resurfacing the tennis and hockey surfaces before we discuss other additional expenditures.
Well, we do need the prices, and you did ask me to get that, so.
Right, but Mr. Sabavic was Supervisor Sabavic was suggesting that.
Well, by the same token, the things that the park board had brought to all of us, we should see what's involved with that, whether it's small or big or what the cost.
We already have. We've talked with Kathy Mikowski. We've already walked through. You're basically asking us to recreate the wheel. We've already talked to Kathy. She understands.
I have.
Bill, myself.
Okay, well, there.
I have not, yes, I have not. I have not heard this, or I didn't know about the restrooms over the other, like Hendersonville, and I would think that would be more important than resurfacing. I had the thought of, there were some issues way back when with the Cecil Park or the courts, whether or not trash or different debris that was under the courts that caused the cracks and different things. So resurfacing may just permit the cracks to come back up through, and has that been part of the evaluation?
Yes.
It has?
That's part of the
That's
reason why
part.
I want to do this work.
Okay.
Yes.
It's gotten wide. It's probably an inch and a half wide.
You always put your hand through it.
You can put your hand down into it.
All right.
I would recommend for all those that don't think this is necessary, go down to Cecil Park any day of the week, any evening of the week. There are a number of residents that utilize both the tennis and hockey court on a regular basis. This is not just an expenditure, and it's really a safety issue. Walk over there, there's parts of the fence that are sticking out, there's huge cracks in the surface.
I'm not objecting to it.
I would like to see the numbers too.
I'd like to see what that's going to cost, as well as all the other issues,
I agree.
and see what we can do, what we can't do, what we budget this year.
A new fence around the tennis courts, I've got to put $9,500, the new fabric, and horizontal support posts around the court. The vertical posts don't need replacement, all the horizontal posts need to be replaced. The top, the intermediate, and the bottom.
You hear him about?
No.
No.
So we'll look at all the numbers and purchases.
Bill, you weren't heard.
I've already been active on when I get to time, soliciting quotes on a number of the issues that we have over there. The first step into getting into the tennis court, addressing the crack that is in that tennis court over there, is to get an access gate put in there. We've done that. We're now able to get in there, and we have to do an intermediate type repair to that crack. It's deep enough that you can put your hand probably down to your thumb joint into the crack. What I intend to do is to fill that with backing rod in there, and then we'll fill it with craft coat, just to minimize the tripping hazard that it poses. I've solicited quotes on the fence around the tennis courts, and I've received a quote for Canonsburg fence of approximately $9,500, and that's the vinyl coated tennis fabric. It's got a tighter opening to it than the traditional chain link fence does. With regard to the deck hockey court, I've been doing some research as to how we go about putting nets up there. One of the dangers in putting nets, permanent nets up here, is to have them permanently attached. If a player were to hit that, that thing has to come loose. How do we keep it inside the park and not on somebody's vehicle going home with them? So one of my ideas is to put an eyelet, an anchor eyelet, into the surface and then tether the frame to that eyelet so that it does break away and it can't be taken unless they cut the cable and have it tethered to the eyelet that's in the ground. I've been, in the past, I put a